It'd help if I had my mic unmuted. Or yeah, it was muted. Sorry about that. Just felt like coming in here and doing an afternoon whatever. I have the time to do it. So hey, if you want to join me, by all means, the link's in chat. I don't know how long I'm going to stick on for, but hey, whatever. Um, I, I, I don't know. I changed cell providers, and some people say mobile, whatever. And I'm telling you, I keep getting crank calls from the same, not the same number, but it'll start off with the first three, no, six same numbers, and the last four will be different. It's like there's like this countdown, 4433, 44332, whatever. I don't know. But what a pain in the ass. And they just keep calling. Um I was gonna put it on the screen, but I deleted. I blocked all the numbers and deleted them. But let me see if I have a. Hey guys, if you want to crank call them, go for it. No. How you guys all doing, man? It's a foggy, dreary day here in western southwestern Ontario, Canada. No snow. What the hell? But apparently we're supposed to get some later on. How much? I don't know. Probably not much. It's been a mild winter so far, and it looks like, yeah, I know. It's my list is wow, and it's just taking up. Eventually it's going to take up so much fucking room, man. It's ridiculous. But anyways, what was I going to say? Can't remember. Cheers. Part of the reason why I wanted to come on here. No, but I wanted to let you know. Tomorrow night, we are going to have our Friday night howl rising, and our good friend Percy's going to be joining us again, of course. And of course, any of you regulars from the Friday Night Howls Garris Classic shows, you're more than welcome. Any of you guys wanted to. Alex is doing good as far as I know, Laura. I mean, he did have the vid, but I think it was a mild case, and he seems to be doing good. If he's watching this, pop in the chat or pop on there, Alex. He's probably busy at work, so I know he's doing a lot better. So I don't think it was that bad, but yeah, um, yeah. So this Friday we're gonna have the Friday Night Howl, uh, and I think we're gonna try to do them every maybe once a month, maybe twice a month, depending on how our schedules are and stuff, if we can work them out. But definitely once a month for sure. If we can fit in two, then great, we'll do that. Um, so we like to keep that alive and keep everybody who, hey Jeremy, how are you? Keeps everybody in check, like together, sort of thing. Um, I know a lot of people miss Gareth and miss the Friday Night Howls, and I've had, we've had several. Look, see, here we go. There you go. There you go. Fake number, fake name. I keep getting them. It's ridiculous. But anyways, um, anybody know of any good like caller ID, whatever? I don't know what the hell. An app that does an amazing job. I don't know. I really don't know. Hey Tim, how are you?
Good doing, buddy. You all right?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
I have to say, cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man. Uh-huh.
How are things over there?
Yeah, good, mate. Just apart from the weather, it's a bit shit, to be honest. Same old, same old. Though.
You got crappy weather over there as well?
Yeah, man, windy and rain.
Windy and rain.
Mm.
Yeah, it's been wet here, not extremely wet, but we're supposed to get some snow. Hey, Adrian, how are you? Supposed to get some snow later on, but they're not saying how much, and it doesn't look like a lot. So it's been a mild winter here.
It's not been that bad, you
So
really.
so I hate to disappoint you, but I don't have an igloo.
Mhm. All right. So I've been wrestling bears and big and Sasquatches then lately. Then
Yeah.
the lumberjack
Exactly.
shirt on and you know
Exactly.
boots on.
Exactly. And yeah, look at that. Look at that. That classic
All right.
Doctor Who, Tom Bakerish.
Mm.
Oh man, classic. But yeah, Friday night. So you gonna be around, Tim?
Yeah, it should be. Yeah, some sort of.
Yeah. Pop in. Pop in. You should
What
pop in.
time? Guys, at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. Yeah, 2 o'clock your
I
time, I believe.
probably pop in for an hour.
9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow night, guys. And yes, Percy's going to be joining us. I know a lot of people have been asking about Percy. Yes, he will be with us again. And I've had I can't believe how many people have asked. I mean, I was even floored when Crazy John asked if we were going to do a. I'm like, what? Holy crap! So yeah. So what's new and exciting, man?
No, nothing really. Just working, YouTube, and same old, same old. Nothing's changed since last year, so it's all the same.
You yeah, exactly. You've been YouTubing quite a bit.
Uh, yeah.
You do
Well,
you do your like daily show there, man. I noticed it. It's pretty
yeah.
cool. Chat.
It's what it is. Though. It's just chat. It's
Yeah,
like,
but still, it's good to, stay in touch and, chat about whatever, man.
of course, yeah.
I mean, it's really cool because I mean, it's everybody knows everybody. So I mean, it's pretty cool. Sav and Laura and yourself and I thought Barry was supposed to do a show this morning.
I'm not sure what Barry's doing at the moment. I think he's just having a bit of time away from YouTube, to be honest. I think he's.
Oh, because I noticed he marked a show there, but I guess he never did it this morning. Hey, Laura, Melissa, how are you? Pop in if you want to, by all means. Yeah. So Friday night, and hey, I've got a big UFO show coming up on not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
So I think I know which one you're on about. Yeah, I did see the.
The Michigan thing, and where the James Bushlong, he was a meteorologist at the time, and he had to hush up about the experience.
What date was that? What date did that take place?
1994.
Because I got a friend called Ben who lives just not far from Lake Michigan.
Yeah.
And it was in the 90s. He said he'd seen something really crazy in the sky over there. Like,
Could have been that.
might have been
Because
that.
a lot of people noticed that. A lot of people experienced it. So we're going to be talking about it. And we have another one coming up soon. Hey Daniel, how are you? We're just locking up a date for another one. A really really unusual UFO thing that actually happened up here in the late 80s, actually. So we're just locking that up, and hopefully we'll have that in the schedule in the next couple days. It's like, holy shit, with the UFO shows. We hardly touched UFO stuff.
I can't remember who I subbed to the other day. So I'm trying to think now. I'll tell you. You know him anyway. Paranormal Girl podcast.
Yeah, check her out. Did you subscribe?
Yeah, I subbed to her, man. Yeah,
yeah, she puts on a great show. She does. Christian's been on our show a couple times as well. She's awesome. She's really really puts together, and her season, like she does a season similar to us, but what she does is she dedicates the season towards a certain subject.
Yeah, to notice that is with regards to the videos, there's always something different. You know what I mean? It's never the same thing going on and on. You know what I mean? It's never just
exactly
or whatever. It's but many different things.
Exactly. So this season, she's talking about UFOs and aliens and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
I know she's new to that sort of spectrum, but she does her homework. She does a good job.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Project Stargate videos that she's done. It's quite
Yeah,
interesting.
she's pretty good. So yeah, if you haven't subscribed, do so.
Yeah.
Paranorm Girl podcast. And you know what? She's done a couple things with Reeves Cook as well.
Mm.
Della, how are you? It's good to see you. Yeah, so she's pretty cool. If you don't yeah, subscribe to her. I know she doesn't do lives, but I don't know. She may change that because now she sees that we do the live shows and she sees that Reeves does the live shows. So on top of her podcast, she may do a live show. So who knows?
Mm.
Who knows? But you guys don't have any Bigfoot
There we
sighting.
are. Look, there he is. Look, there's the man.
Hey Barry, how are you?
How good,
Pop
man.
in, Barry, if you want. Be good to hear from you, buddy. Link is at the top. Anybody else who'd like to join us, by all means, click the link at the top and
You
join
just
us.
call me Tom.
Sorry?
Did you just call me Tom?
No.
I thought you just called me Tom.
uh yeah, lives are easier because you don't have to edit. Exactly, Jeremy. Yeah, so if you fuck up, you fuck up. And I do that quite often, but oh well. Hey, maybe that's why I like doing the lives. But I'm going to start putting some edited stuff back up on Nocturnal on our channel here uh, pretty soon. Dealing with the Dark Woodlot documentary, so I will be putting some of those up soon to sort of entice you guys over the final project, the product. It's taken a long time, but you know what?
10 million years later.
Yeah, so hopefully it's done. It's seeing the end of the light at the end of the tunnel, if you
Mm.
will. You guys don't have any Bigfoot sightings over there, do you?
No, not really. Not in UK now. I'm pretty sure that there are some slightly disturbed people out there that are claimed that they find in the UK, but you know.
Come on, slightly disturbed people. Are there
No.
such a thing? There is as elusive as Bigfoot himself
Mm,
itself, I should say.
okay. I think the Bob Lazar was working with them over at Area 51. Yeah,
Bob Lazar.
yeah.
I know a lot. I know a lot of people take Bob Lazar very seriously. I just
I just can't. I just some of
I
the
have a
stuff,
hard time.
I think
Yeah,
it to me it's slightly comical. Like I gotta be honest with you, he comes across as like this really nerdy guy. Like you know what I mean?
yeah.
And,
Della says there are legends of Bogarts
mm,
and giant fairies as well. No hairy ones though.
mm.
Bogarts. I'd like what are Bogarts? I'd like to know more about Bogarts, Della. That's interesting. Giant fairies. Bogarts definitely intrigue me. I want to know more about those, Della. And you know what? We'd love to have Della on the show. You know, we're kind of just enticing her to come on. She doesn't have to use her camera. It's been a long time. We miss Della. We do. And we would love to have her back on and chat and catch up and see how she's doing and so on and so on. By all means, anyone who would like to join us, the link is at the oh my god, gas here. The link is at the top of the chat there. Click it. Don't be bashful. Well, your family, Della, and you know we would absolutely love to keep in touch and have you back on. You know that you're always welcome here. Yep. So yeah, and we got another UFO show coming up, and it's look into it if you want to. It's a case called the Guardian the Guardian UFO incident in Carp, Ontario. And it was close. It was close. Several people witnessed this thing, and there's actually a video out there. Some guy took VHS footage of this um, UFO, if you will, and it's rather interesting. Um, I don't know if I'd say it's alien in nature, but I don't know. But the case is quite intriguing, and we have a guy coming on, an author actually, somebody who's actually an investigator who looked into the case. He's going to be coming on the show to chat more about that. It happened, I believe, in the late '80s. Oh, sorry, '91. Sorry, '91 is when it happened, and I don't know if it's strange. It's not strange, but it happened around a military base.
Mm.
It's funny how they always happen around military bases. Eh?
Space, funnily enough, isn't it? Yeah.
Is this secret technology, Tim? What do you think? Secret technology?
I,
Technology they don't want you to know?
I think it's about 80% probably something that we've come up with more than likely. I mean,
Oh yeah, most likely.
it's just like they're going to use it like that. They're going to fly things over defenses and this, that, and the other to test radar signature and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? As well, if we do have
Yeah,
it, or it could be that well, when was it? 80? Was it 8? There was 1991. What, Cold War?
1991. The
Cold
base
War.
the
So you
base
got
is no longer active. It's not active anymore. And it's funny because somebody was saying that one of the witnesses or somebody who lives in the area around the base and had witnessed a lot of the activity was saying when the base uh, became inactive, they were saying a lot of the activity, the UFO activity, became non-existent. Although they do kind of have certain things happening every once in a while, but nothing, like when the base was active.
was that base a nuclear base, mine?
No, it was a military base. It was just a regular.
Standard base like that.
It was what you call it. It basically it was an underground base that if people needed to go to,
Mm.
in case of like a nuclear
Yeah.
explosion, blast, whatever, or end of the world scenario, they could
Continuation is a continuation of
they could use this base as
they
shelter.
really, you know what I
So,
mean? Mhm.
and you could pop up after living in this underground military base for years and become them.
Mm.
Them. Look at those crazy.
Mm.
Them. Oh man. Yes, I think we're all crazy for believing this stuff.
Mm. It's where we got the tech from. That's what I'm more interested in.
Sorry?
Where we got the tech to do it, though, is what I'm more interested about. I'm not,
Wow, yeah.
where did it come from in the first place?
It's funny, talking about tech, and I don't know about you, but I've felt over the past few years, technology wise, with a lot of things,
Oh yeah, it's gone
I've
mental.
it seemed stagnant to me.
Now it has become stagnant. Yeah.
But we all know that they have technology that would probably blow our minds apart. So I don't know. Who the hell knows?
Bob Lazar does.
Yeah. Bob Lazar knows a lot of stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, I can't help. I've been watching too much Bob Lazar. I have lately. I think that's probably what it is. And stuff about I watched two documentaries on a a place, a valley in Canada, the Headless Valley. Have you heard of that one?
Sorry, what is
The
it?
Headless, is it the Headless Valley? It's called or something like that.
The Headless Valley?
Yeah, it's
And
where they.
where is this?
It's in Canada somewhere, North
No
Canada.
way.
I don't know,
Headless
I'll
Valley.
tell you now. I've just got to look for my history.
Headless Valley. That sounds
It
interesting.
may be Alaska, but I got funny feelings. Canada.
Now I'm intrigued. I'm looking it up as well.
You reckon there was giants living there and stuff, all that sort of stuff. But the gold prospectors went there looking for gold back in the day, and
Probably out west then.
they never came back. Apparently, bodies were found; they were all decapitated. The bodies were and stuff. Really weird. But there's been other strange occurrences as well. But you know what YouTube is like.
The only thing that's coming up here is Dead Man Valley. Let me look here. Is it Valley of Headless Man?
That might be it. Yeah.
Oh no.
No.
Hold on. Okay, Headless Valley: The Horrific Secrets of Nanani National Park.
Yeah, and then is it Nanayanako or something like that? And it's some weird
Yeah.
name. But yeah, that's the one.
You're gonna have to look more into that, buddy. You see where this is located. It's probably out west.
Mm.
Nene.
We are looking at the right place. I know that. I know it begins with an N.
Let's see here. Look it up. Okay, yeah. Of course, Mysteries of Canada, Legends of Nene Valley. Yeah. Holy crap, man! There's a crap load of them. So
I might get a tap at one of those.
Ooh, yeah. So this looks like it's out west.
Mm. They reckon that there were areas in the because I think it's a national park anyway now.
Yeah. Okay. So.
But there are areas that you're not allowed to go. Obviously, but there were areas there as well, which was part of the legend. There was in parts of the valley there were hot springs.
So it looks like northern Alberta, which is out west. So, but then, of course, you have it deals with a lot of the fur trade between the Hudson's Bay Company and Hudson's Bay Company and the natives, the tribes that were living in the area at the time. And it looks like the northern part of Alberta, and that's Hudson's Bay did obviously hey, only me, how are you? They did a lot of trading up in the northern parts of the provinces and especially up into the Yukon, which is pretty fucking north. It's like right beside Alaska, right? I'll have to look more into that. That's pretty cool. Thanks for bringing that up.
But there's like a lot of like folklore about it. I don't know whether any of it's true, mind, Steve. It's just at the end of the stories, isn't it? But it's like
true or not, I enjoy reading and watching stuff about these. I find them very intriguing. I really do.
I mean, there was a statement. There was one guy who made a statement about the place, and he said they were back in the days of like the fur trade and stuff like that. They had a local like pastor that lived there, and in the township, and all the Indian folk that were living in the tribal folk that lived in the area, they were all obviously mixing in with the white folk and all the rest of it. But then there were certain parts of the year where they just the tribal people would just act like as if they were scared out of their minds, but there was the saying how they used to put this creature was that it was there but you couldn't see it, and that kind of reminds me of what the Sasquatch is like a little bit. You know what I mean? Because it's there, and you can pan your camera around, and you're not going to catch it.
God, yeah. I was watching this YouTube video, and it's actually hilarious. I got to find it again and show you guys. Basically, a guy is panning into the forest, and he's literally Carrie Predator, yeah, and basically panning into this section of the forest, and what you see is the guy's like, look, he's hiding, he's stealthy. You see him, and when you look at this, you can actually see like a face and a head, right?
I think it's
but when you look at it closely, you can tell it's just the fucking leaves and the way the leaves are.
But it's like
there's nothing there. But this guy's convinced that there's a Bigfoot there.
What's like what people get when they look at photographs of Mars, and they're going, "Oh my god, you see faces all over the rocks."
Pareidolia.
Same thing. It's just it's natural. It's a natural thing. Your eye. It's
called pareidolia.
It's not that you've got a mental problem and you're seeing things. It's your memory's ability to recognize faces coming.
Well, it's like a digital camera taking a picture in the darkness, right? The pixels will fill in to what it thinks.
Yeah,
it's like your brain. Your brain thinks.
Yeah,
it's seeing something because it looks like it, but it's not really that. When you look at it, when you analyze it closely, you see that there's nothing there.
If I had $1 for every video that I'd seen to do with Mars, right? To do with Mars and these so-called YouTube Mars researchers that completely and utterly make NASA to look like a complete nutter bunch of bullshitters, right? And all the rest of it, whilst using NASA's actual imagery, to say, well, look what we found aliens here. There's there's a gorilla sitting on a rock over in the corner, like, oh, look at that doorway in the wall there. Yeah, it's like, oh.
And they figure because they're using NASA's actual footage, photos or whatever, they're like, oh, hey, look it. Come on, it's NASA for crying out loud. They took this. They don't want you to know.
They don't want you to know. Yeah, it's like I've been a millionaire the amount of times I've seen these videos. Like, it's just like, wow.
Exactly.
Every time you've shown these images, and I got my honest opinion is like, yeah, it does look like a face on a rock, but it's not an alien face. It's just the way the rock is in the light, and it's just the way that this over time that the sand and just chipped away at it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. The human brain is very unique, and you hear arguments about we use 10% of its actual ability, and then others will say no, you use its full ability. There's all sorts of arguments. I mean, I kind of lean towards that we only use about 10% of its actual ability. I really do. I think
well, there are parts of the brain that just I know that even doctors and even brain surgeons don't even know what those parts are for.
Well, you look at since the human species has become domesticated, there are so many aspects that we have lost that we had before. So I mean that alone. I mean, maybe another 5 to 10% on top of that. I mean, do we have psychic abilities? I really do think that we do, and some people are able to patch into that sort of aspect. Not everybody, because there's a lot of charlatans out there. There's a shitload of them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, like 99.9% of them are charlatans. right?
Uh,
There are people that I work with a lady that just blows my mind, and I'm very skeptical of that shit.
Yeah, Ali's just says that. Have you seen the clips recently of a giant on top of a mountain? Yes, I have.
Yes, I've seen
And
that.
the guy who actually took the photographs apparently went back to well, the footage, went back to try and get more footage, and was warned off the area
Yeah,
by people in cars. And he went back a third time, and he was warned off again. But the third
yeah,
time round, there was a facility that the military or somebody had built up on top of the mountain, and this is all there. It's all there to see on YouTube. You couldn't get up there obviously because it was pretty high. The peak was. There's no roads going to the top of it or anything like that. But there was this big giant on the one day, and then a couple of days later, there's this big research like thing or some sort of military. Those. The big boxes they drag around with on MVs with the radio and it's all that sort of stuff. It's
mhm,
like basically just a poor cabin with a blimmin', you know what I'm on about? One of them.
yeah.
There's loads of them with a couple of dishes up there and all the rest of it. Try going there. No, you've got to turn around and go back. He was followed back to his house. He had it on and he literally a couple of weeks after, and he showed the video footage. A couple of weeks after that, the guy makes a video saying, "Oh, it's all bullshit. It's all lies. I'm not telling. I wasn't telling the truth. Wasn't telling the truth." 2 days
You
after that, he was dead.
Let me see. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys photos. And these photos were sent to me from a close friend who had been checking a deer cam, and we talked about this extensively a few times. We coined the thing Bubble Boy, but let me see. I'm gonna pull them up
Yeah.
and I'm gonna show you guys. I only have two of the photos left, so what I'm gonna do is I'm going to so I can show you guys.
I think that's the one where the shot is just absolutely mental. It goes mental on the one. It looks mad on the one shot, and then you see this. Is that the
Yeah,
one?
like I don't know. You can see that, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna bring it up. Hold on, just give me a sec here.
So one looks kind of like a UFO,
Yeah.
an old black and white photograph, like. But
Okay, so let me just. I'm gonna email them to myself here. I thought I had them on my. And these have been published since, but okay. Let me just go into. Um, yeah, I mean, the backstory of it for those who may not know. Um, this guy bought a house in the middle of nowhere. Really, I think it was like 100 miles to the nearest neighbor where this guy was living. And anyhow, he has deer cam in his backyard, and he had pulled the SD card from one of the cams and started going over the foot, to see what is had captured.
mm,
And he there was a series of four photos that it's like, and this guy he just like, what the fuck is this shit? What the hell is this? I've
mm,
I've never experienced this. Anyways, okay, here. Okay, so this is the second photo. I've only got the second and third photo. The first photo, you're gonna see what looks like. I thought I had two of them, but I don't. But the first photo, you just see there's like birds in this field, and then you see a forest in the background, and it looks serene. It's a November day. It's chilly. It's I think 11 o'clock. Let me look again. I think it's 11 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, nine, just close to 10 a.m. in the morning, and there's birds on the ground. And then the second shot, there's an anomaly, which I'm going to
Mm.
show you an anomaly. And these are four shots were taken in a series of 4 seconds. So from one extreme to the next extreme to the next extreme to back to what the first
That's
photo
really
showed,
cool.
just a serene sort of picture. But this photo I'm going to show you now is the anomaly, and then the second photo will be split second next frame, and throughout this you see the temperature changes.
Mm.
Okay, so here's the first photo. Okay, so you see that?
Yeah, it looks like a vintage Nazi UFO, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I mean
You know what I mean? You know that type of shape, sort of thing.
yeah,
Weird.
so you see there's this disruption, but you see the birds in the ground. They seem to be just like, what the hell, what's going on? What's going on? Nothing much, right? Okay. And then, okay, let's go to the second photo here. So the second photo, and then what do you see? What do you see?
It's, I don't know.
What do you
That,
see there?
that's a little bit weird, isn't
Let me
it?
see. I'll blow it up. I'll blow it
Go in a
up.
bit more. Go in more. Can you go in further?
That's as close as I can go in. But you see this.
Genuinely looks like I can't, well, I just say it as I see it.
Yeah.
Somebody in a plastic bag, basically, a bubble bag.
Doesn't it look like that, eh?
Mm.
It looks like somebody's got some sort of barrier around them, right?
Looks like a guy with a, I don't know how to put it, but it just, to me, it just looks like there's some guy with a motorcycle helmet on as well. Or a helmet of that nature. Not, I wouldn't say it's a motorbike helmet, but you know what I mean?
And it's almost like he's
It's very strange.
somewhat hovering above the
You can
ground a
see
little.
his hands though, Steve.
Huh?
I swear to God, I can see his hands from by here.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
exactly. And this is a split second after.
What the fuck? That's weird.
And then the next photo, nothing. You just see the field. This guy's gone. This person's gone.
Mm.
Isn't it fucked up? So
It's hard to tell because it's just, but there is, it does,
so
not joking, it does look like somebody out there in the background.
yeah, Della. Our old friend Joe Burkhart. Oh my God, what a soul! I miss Joe. Joe was such a great guy. Yeah. And so a little bit more backstory to that. He came on the show, the guy who owned this house, right? And he's like, I don't know what to explain, how to explain these. And we had an investigation set up. Well, you want us to come out and investigate it and check, see what we can find for you? He's like, yeah, by all means. He on the show, he furthered, and the show I think is, I've uploaded it here to our YouTube channel. So if you go into the Nocturnal Vaults, you can listen to the show. I think it's there. If not, I will upload it. But he furthered by saying he was at work one evening, like he was working afternoon shifts,
Mm.
and his wife called him at work. She was distraught. She was saying that, she was looking at the back sliding door to the backyard where those pictures were taken, and there's these green lights, just like, it's like they're watching me, and they keep moving. It's like they're like hovering around on the deck, And she's like all freaked out. So he had to leave work and go home. And obviously, by the time he got home, the lights were gone, but she was freaked right out. So, anyways, upon setting up the investigation, he had a change of mind. It's like all of a sudden he did a 360. No, I better not, blah, blah. I don't think it's good that we have an investigation. It's like somebody got to him.
So you can put chalk that down that perhaps what has happened is happened.
Yeah.
It's a case of, well, most people now in this day and age, and even when they were taking those, even back then, those photographs, most people who take photographs or they experience stuff, they know all too well what the media will do to them and what other, people will come there and try to debunk it and all of this sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, it's just, I think people now in this day and age
Well,
know
that's the thing, right? I mean, did somebody get to them, or they didn't think that anyone would be serious enough to come out and look around for them?
Well, it's like that guy I was saying about the guy who supposedly saw a giant on top of a mountain
Yeah.
and took video footage of it and went back time after time, got denied and then got followed back.
Yeah.
And then 2 days after that, makes a video, says, no, it's not real. It's not real. 2 days after that, he makes a video saying it's all real and all the rest of it. And then he's on a slab, basically.
It's crazy.
He just died of a heart attack, apparently. That's what I've heard. But,
Yeah, there's some
usual
real
MO. That's the usual MO if they want to get rid of you. Oh, he died of an heart attack.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some strange stories out there though, man. I mean, there's some really, really strange stories out there. And I think when you show an interest and you analyze them and you get a little too close, people kind of like go, "Hmm." Gladys Cordova. Okay. Let us know more. What is interesting? Do you have a put the link in the chat there for people?
Googling.
Yeah. Now I'm intrigued. Okay, I'm gonna look. And
Something on your try it on YouTube. Mistio de los.
oh, okay.
Right.
I got her YouTube channel. I'll look at it later. I'll definitely look at it later. Yeah. Intriguing.
UFO, eh?
It is Mexico, Brazil. Yeah. It's definitely it looks like Peru.
Yeah. Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
She's Peruvian, I think. Oh man, she's got a lot.
They're mad for it down there. They're all South Americans. They love the UFO stuff, don't they?
Well, Peru's a little bit more open, right?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Totally open about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll definitely look. Yeah, it looks interesting.
That one guy from Mexico, what's his name? I can't stand him. The one who's always bullshitting. The one with the white beard. You know what I'm on about? Oh, we've got this baby alien out of the desert in Peru and all. You know what I'm on about? Remember, what's his name? Oh, Dr. Nick Riviera, I call him. But
oh, fuck yeah.
Hi, everybody. Want to see a UFO? Oh, fucking hell. You know what we do. You know the guy I'm on about, the one guy I'm talking about. He's just a Mexican guy, but he's been on so many different UFO shows over the years on TV. Like, he's the OVNI guy.
The one guy I couldn't stand was after a while was the dude who had gone. He used to go on coast to coast a lot. The the guy that was filming the rods.
Oh no,
It's
not
like,
him.
for fuck's
Not
sakes,
him.
are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
yeah.
How is this even a thing?
Not know about insects in the night and things like that. You know what I mean? This guy was just a fucking idiot. He was a fucking retard. I'm sorry to say.
Oh,
You get
you
him, though.
know,
You do get him, though.
slow the video down, and you see they're like some kind of crazy entity. No, they're fucking bugs in flight.
Crazy entity.
You know, it just like, but people will buy. Like, people just don't understand. Okay, it's fucking coast to coast. It's entertainment. It's in the middle of the night, and they can throw anything out there, and you'd believe it. It's like fucking orbs.
The amount of times I've heard the presenters chuckle. So,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When somebody's sort of, being all like dead serious, even though it's complete bullshit. Like,
Exactly. Exactly.
oh my god! I think
Oh man.
someone fucking the guy who phoned up Area 51 from here. Remember that when he phoned up?
Yeah, comedian from Los Angeles
Yeah,
that did that.
yeah, that's right.
But I mean, it was so realistic when you're listening. You're like,
I
holy
think
shit.
David Wilcox even went as far as doing it. You know I'm about David Wilcox.
Yeah.
Yeah, the less we use of his name, the better, because it just makes everybody shudders when they hear the name, because everybody knows that he's one of the worst. And fair dues, there's some really good snake oil salesmen out there that really sell it, right? But David Wilcox, he is probably the worst ever.
Yeah.
Blue chicken people, yeah, you remember all that debacle with the blue chicken people from Egypt, and what's his name? His best friend who was in the SS. Wasn't it the secret space program and all the rest?
Oh, fuck.
Corey Good, wasn't it? That's it, isn't it?
The secret space program. There you go. There you go. The secret space program.
The secret sponges program. That's what it was.
Oh man.
The amount of people he pissed off as well. I mean, people went after him big time because he was just being, he's just. I've kind of felt like he was planted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Spread bullshit like this for the UFO community, like, you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing.
There's a lot of them out there.
Yeah, more shit to add to the pot, like, basically, you know what I mean? Stirring it in, like, you know what I mean? And then nobody knows what to really think again.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that have some intriguing stories that
Randy Kramer's another one.
Randy Kramer. What was his
Mars, and I fought Martians with my M16.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They told me how to fly a space fighter and everything.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I totally forgot about that guy.
Well, he only resurfaced in my life recently, and it was because he was in a wreck for some reason. Somebody had done a debunking him video. It was in my recommended last week. I watched it and I was just like laughing. I was in hysterics listening to it. Like, it was just brilliant. Like, this Creaky Blinder is the guy's channel, the one who does it. But he really does like to target the Gaia and the flat Earth a lot. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, fuck.
So but it's good comedy, basically. Yeah.
I mean, there's some pretty intriguing stuff out there, but yeah, there's a lot of shit there that oh god. Oh man, you just sit there and go, how?
That's an infinity's worth of shit on YouTube.
People, and you look at the views of these, and it's like, you know what it is? It's people rewatching this and going, oh fuck, man, I'm trying to figure this out. It's fake. It's fake. What the hell? You know?
Oh, it's beyond, like,
it's staged.
Have you ever seen that channel, the Mars Anomalies channel? That English guy, some English guy that does all the Mars Anomalies stuff. Creaky's from Wales, like, and he's really like he's quite rude, like, you know what I mean? He can be quite rude, like, and he's just tore this guy a new asshole. Like, it was so funny to see it, like, but it was like, it's the same sort of thing I was mentioning about earlier on, saying that there's it was about remember the picture that everybody was saying that it was the hole in the side of a cliff.
Yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
doorway. And yeah, it does look like a doorway in the side of a cliff. But what you've got to remember is that cliff is probably only like the size of a little mound. You know what I mean? And it's just rock. It's just a rock face that the rover is taking photographs of. And they go, "Oh, it's a door. It's a door." Well, it's funny because right next to where this opening is into the rock into the stone, there's a piece of stone exactly the same size as what's fallen out of the hole. You know what I mean? And everybody's going, "Oh, it's a door. It's a door." Oh. Oh no, that's a Photoshop that bit of stone out of the picture, like, you know.
You
But,
know, we all like to believe, we all like to hope and believe that there are, something that's discoverable, but and maybe there will be,
I
but
think it, I think
but
it
for
is.
the most part, what you're seeing is just
They just, well, the other thing is you maybe they're just showing us what they want us to see while they're doing other things in the background. You know what I mean?
yeah, true,
That's the thing. And
true.
maybe they
Is there
say
is there something more nefarious going on?
maybe we're just not ready for it.
It's like the moon. Same thing with the moon, right?
Well, that's what they would like to. That's what
I
I think.
mean, is there something going on with the moon that we don't know about?
Um,
Are you one of these guys that believes that we never
Buy
went to the
500.
moon?
If you want to buy a 500-foot square of land on the moon, you can just pay me $500, Steve, and it's all yours. I'll send you a nice piece of paper in the post saying it's yours as well. You know, no one owns the moon at the moment. Well, people claim they do, but you know, you can always argue it in court. Some white bloke on
Uh,
YouTube doing that sort of stuff as well. Like it's quite funny. Trying to sell you a plot of land on the moon. And people were actually signing up to it, though, weren't they? Remember back?
yeah, I remember that. I
Mm,
remember that. You know,
what do you want that
I
for?
spent $50,000 for a plot of fucking land on the moon. Yeah, where did your 50,000 go? Oh man,
got a, I got a plot on Copernicus crater.
yeah.
You know.
There used to be a beach there. There was some water, but it's gone now. Hopefully, it'll come back.
I've heard some class like conspiracy theory stuff about the moon and the Illuminati got a holiday home on the moon. You know, they got a big hotel there, like apparently, and all this sort of stuff. Like, you know.
There was there's footage on YouTube. I gotta find it, and apparently it was taken by one of the excuse me, one of the missions to the moon. And upon leaving, they apparently took this footage when they're leaving, and what you see is like an abandoned sort of civilization on the moon. I'm like, if that's so, then why don't we see more about this? You know, like let me see if I can find it. It's really it's creepy. It is really creepy.
This stuff I saw. Remember the Japanese moon mission
Yeah.
where they put the thing around and they skimmed their probe right away. Right, I mean, they were doing it low. You know what I mean? It was low flight basically. So got really close and more and closer and closer. And some of the fucking things you see, it's just like they don't look like craters. You know what I mean? You sat and you're just thinking that no, that ain't craters. That's something else. That is entirely like. And it's just, but you can't. I can't. The problem is this: you can't unless you have been there and you've seen it for yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Unless you're a geologist or unless you've got at least some education in it. Like you know what I mean? You can't really put your thumb on what it is. That's the thing, and it's just I seen this structure and it was crystalline. It was a crystalline structure on the moon. and probe just went straight past it. Like it was right in the middle of the camera for a minute, and the probe just went straight over the top of it, and that was all you get to see of it. And I mean, this thing had towers coming off it, all sorts of weird shit. Like,
Yeah.
it didn't look. It wasn't like it was kind of almost like termite hills when you look at termite hills, but on a hell of a large scale. I'm not saying termites made them. Well, who knows? Might be termites on the moon. The size of
You never know, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to find that footage. It's like hard because I can't remember what it was titled, but it was black and white. Let's see.
I remember seeing all the Apollo 20. Sorry, that's right. I remember seeing all the Apollo 20 videos back in the day, where they had the alien mummy.
Yeah.
Stuff.
The alien mummy. Yeah.
The wax dummy. That's the one.
Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know. I'll play it later if I can find it, but I can't find it. It was really eerie watching it. I mean, I skeptical. I was skeptical. Huh?
On takeoff, was that for the lander coming when the lander it was lifting off to go back to the orbiter?
Yeah, it was.
And they basically, I think I know, and there's like lights. There's like weird lights in the crater.
No, you can actually see structures. Like you actually see structures as it's leaving the moon. You actually see these structures that are abandoned. And I'm like, well, this would be cool if it was real, but I highly doubt it.
Which mission was it?
Oh God, I couldn't tell you offhand.
Wasn't
It was one of the Apollos, I believe. And when let me just see. I don't think. Oh wait, maybe no. I thought I had it, but no, that's not it. No, that's not it.
Because it wasn't the shot itself isn't actually from the lander. It's from the orbiter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's actual footage.
It's on approach to the. Yeah, I know. I think I've seen that. There's a couple I've seen.
Yeah, no, I can't find it.
There always seems to be something interesting, though. You know what I mean? In every single one of these, like Apollo videos, there's always something of interest, which makes you just think, well, that doesn't look like it's natural.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
it don't look like it belongs there.
But yeah, no.
Glass-like structure thing. Yeah.
I wish I could find it. This was I remember. Was it? I heard it somewhere. Some podcast was talking about it years ago, and I looked it up, and sure as shit, it was there. And you're like, "Holy crap! No friggin' way! There's absolutely no way!" Right?
Mm.
But not saying it's real.
Well, you reckon that Apollo 20 ship?
It could have been.
That some of the footage on that video footage was actually legit footage, but I don't know about Apollo 20 because I only know about 19 launches and that's it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And it's a case of, well, you can get the photos of the crater where that ship is, and you can see it for you. It's actually they're actually there on a NASA website. Like,
yeah.
Except over the years, they've become more grainy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like as if the digital age shows up, and then all of a sudden that photo, which you wouldn't be able to get really until the early days of the internet, when NASA decided to have a website with all the pictures on and all this sort of stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they've made it more grainier and more grainier and more grainier to the point of where they've removed all the detail practically out of the picture. You know? makes you wonder. It makes you scratch your head, and it makes you think, well, was that, was this Apollo 20 thing? Yeah, maybe it was bullshit. What we get to see in this day and age, but maybe it was a mission. Maybe it wasn't Apollo 20. Maybe it was 19 that did it.
Well, I mean, the question begs. I mean, if we did go to the moon, then why haven't we fucking gone back and prepare to go for, say, a larger mission?
I, I
For instance, Mars.
My argument with it is about logistics. It's about
Sure.
it's about being able to maintain a base on the moon for starters, which we've only just sort of mastered staying under the ocean for fucking months on end. You know what I mean? In a nuclear submarine or whatever. You know what I mean? With air scrubbers and things like that. So I think it needs to be a bit more.
I have not seen his footage, Carrie. No,
No.
I've not seen his footage, and now I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it.
Does it look good?
Let me see.
Let's have a look. I like John. What's his name? John? Is it? Bloody Watson? Is it? I'm on about the British guy with a big telescope.
Okay.
Thing is, I can't share it and put it up on the screen for us because we'll get a copyright strike if we do. He takes it very seriously.
Yeah. No, I can't find it. Let's see here. Let's see. Hold on.
That's it, Leonard Watson.
Did you find it? Find it?
No, if you want to see. Yeah.
I can't seem to find it. If you can, put a link in the chat. I don't see stuff, but Leonard Watson, no. Gridkeeper has Leonard's footage. Okay. Gridkeeper has Leonard's footage. Okay.
Warning: this channel may fuck your brain up. Mind if I do put this up?
What's that?
May upset you. It may upset a lot of people. To know there are things on the moon that do look like structures.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gridkeeper.
We just get to the chat a minute. I'll put the link up in the chat now.
Gridkeeper. I don't see the. Show.
Is that showing up in the chat? That one?
No, I just.
Or have you not got links enabled for unspanned people?
Probably not, just in case.
Oh, that's good.
No, it's up there now. Should be. It's there, right?
It is on there. I can see it on.
Yeah.
That's on Leonard Wilson's page. Well, Wilson or whatever his name is. But, yeah, he's been looking at the moon for a long time. He built his own scope as well, which is quite something, to be honest.
So you've watched this stuff before?
I've seen it years ago. I mean, like back when I had my own channel, which was dealing with all that sort of stuff. But yeah, he's good at what he does. He's one of the ones that you can safely say, well, at least he shows you through his own telescope. It's up to you what you make of it, like.
Oh yeah, okay.
But it's like it's a case of people keep going on about there's structures on the moon, there's this, there's that, on all the rest of it. And he's probably the best one so far that I've come across which can demonstrate that there are and there aren't. You know what I mean? It's all about how you interpret it, and it's at the end of the day, it's another planet. Yeah.
It's fucking amazing how many times that
Another planet,
that
Steve. It's just another planet, and we don't know. We don't know enough as civilians or whatever, or non-scientists. You know what I mean?
yeah.
To know what. It's like what I was saying about those towers that I've seen in things like that in certain areas on the moon
Mhm.
on this moon footage. And it's like you don't know whether it's been made by aliens. You don't know whether it's just been made over time, or maybe it's just a crystal formation, or
Well, exactly. You know,
space is a strange place. Let's be honest, like
yeah, it's a
different.
strange, and you know what? It's there, and I think most people take the moon for granted. They don't really pay attention to the moon, on a whole.
If we didn't have the moon, the whole world as we know it would end
Well, yeah,
because well, it would first of all it would affect the spin of the Earth,
yeah,
and then its balance as well, the tides.
tides, all sorts of shit.
Talking biblical disasters, like you know what I mean.
Biblically speaking.
Speaking, yeah. Speaking, yeah.
Yeah, it's a wondrous thing, that's for sure. The moon is, and I would really like to know more about it.
There
I
was
mean, if
stories,
anything, I the moon would be a great starter.
there were stories of the you can ask tribal elders and stuff, and they'll tell you stories back when the moon wasn't even in the sky.
Yeah,
That's another one. That's another strange one you want to have a think about and look at. Like, you know, you got like, you've got all these other larger planets. Well, that's what I mean. You've got all these other larger planets around us, like Saturn, Neptune, Jupiter. They've all got their own moons and their own systems. Some of those systems throw rocks back out into the solar system. Some of them drag them back in. Yeah,
what's strange too about the moon? It is moving away from the Earth.
it's about an inch. Is it about
Yeah,
an inch every year or
about
something?
an inch every year. You know,
Mm.
and it doesn't seem like a lot, but when you think over, thousands of years, that's a fucking huge distance. That's a huge distance.
Mm.
You know? So,
Is
I
Jordan
mean,
is Jordan Peterson really in that much trouble at the moment in Canada?
he's always in trouble.
He's everyone about taking his
Nobody, honestly, Jordan Peterson, oh man, people are just so fucked up. They- I know he's pissed off a lot of people with, a lot of the stuff
I'd
he
like to
talks
present
about.
to you everybody,
But
Professor Kermit
but
the Frog.
but I mean, for the most part, you don't hear anything about Jordan Peterson here. Nothing.
And then
Literally nothing.
bam. Yeah.
Literally nothing. I mean, you might hear the odd thing, but for the most part, you hear nothing. And then it's like, then you say, "Oh well, I'm gonna have Jordan Peterson on the show." Oh, you better not have him on the show. I'm gonna protest you.
And then
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he goes on the show anyway, and then he says something a little bit like that upsets the woke.
Oh,
And then it's like oh we he sat there, he gets up in the morning, like has a cup of tea, like after a couple of days later, like, and I guess he's oh my god, there's a guy at the door with the documents in his hand, serving him, like you know what I mean. And it's like you got to go to it's like a almost like a camp sort of thing for people that put stuff up on the internet that the establishment doesn't really like being spoken about and all that sort of stuff. Like, so that's what I
yeah.
think. Anything is something to do with that, but it's because of what he's been talking about in the past and stuff. You know what I mean? He's a bit of a well, you got to think about it. He's a bit of a live wire, isn't he? You know what I
Mhm.
mean? He certainly has an opinion, and most of the time his opinion is quite correct. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. He's an interesting character.
Mm.
Always has been, but And I know he comes off like he's to many people like he's above them
Mm.
in stature, and that's just the way he is.
People were saying stuff about because they reckon, well, if you look at him now, it's fatigued him.
Oh,
Yeah.
probably. Like
Fatigued.
he's probably. I know there's a lot of people that they're on him on a daily basis.
Yeah, he's got fatigue.
He'll go to, he'll have like a guest speaking engagement,
I'm not saying
and
he's on antidepressants or anything, but the chances are he is
oh,
suffering
probably
from it. Like,
it's probably wearing and tearing him. Like I said, he goes to speaking engagements, and there are protesters after protesters there, and they it would wear down anybody. It
mm,
really would. I mean, he's no different than anybody else. So I mean, yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. It really doesn't. But when you choose your
is he? I didn't know.
yeah, so he is on it.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that. Thank you.
So I mean, he has chosen his route, and not everyone's going to
Mhm.
agree with it, obviously. But like a lot of things in life, it's another sort of view
Yeah.
that people can sort of either agree or disagree with
Mm.
and move on. But he can get extreme. He can get very extreme
Mhm.
in many people's eyes. Um, but like I said, I kind of sit back and just
Then
like I said,
over the
it's
top.
like a lot of people that get boiled into this conspiracy bullshit,
Mm.
you know. And like
No,
I have a few people that are um
all them Alex,
stuck in this conspiracy world, and yeah.
all them Alex Jones fans. Fuck.
Alex Jones. Yeah. There was a point when I was intrigued with not necessarily what Alex Jones was saying, but I think the one thing that intrigued me about what he was doing was something like Bohemian Grove. I found that intriguing. That was quite interesting,
Oh,
but that was it. That was the extent of it.
mm,
You know, um, when he was going on about 9/11, it just ah,
mm.
ah,
There's all that
come
to
on.
do with the shootings and all that sort of things as well. And that. So,
I mean, you can't put um you can't discount that the government doesn't do shady shit. I mean, it's a given they do, but to what extent and what? But I think I've long
ditch the days
disregarded
for wars.
conspiracies.
Yes,
I
yeah.
just can't get into it anymore.
Same
I
with me.
find it's like an endless fucking loop. You know,
Mm,
people live their lives, and they will try to convince you otherwise, and that's fine. If that's what you want to do, then fine. But I just don't want to deal with it. I just don't want to have any part of it.
my new pet hate on YouTube is Young Creation Earth. You know, Young Earth, the Young Earth theory.
Yeah,
That's my new pet hate. That is at the moment.
yeah.
Uh,
Young Earth.
yeah, young. Yeah, and you got all these
So you're what do you
these
don't believe the
so-called.
Earth? You don't believe the Earth is like 5-6 billion years old?
No, I do. I believe it,
Yeah.
but they don't like. And
Oh, they don't buy it.
that's the comical part about it.
That it's a fairly new like a body floating in
Effectively,
space.
yeah,
It just
new colony.
appeared.
Yeah, the young Earth Christians that are out there that think that Earth's only 6,000 years old and all this sort of stuff. Like,
6,000 years old. How?
uh, God just clicked his fingers. Apparently, that's what they say. That's what these people are making out. He just clicked his fingers and knew we were.
Oh man.
And dinosaurs. Oh, we live with dinosaurs and everything.
Yeah.
And then, but we didn't like the dinosaurs, so we entered them and ate them all. And and that's why they don't exist anymore. There's only a couple of them in the world left. The offshoots and their relatives, evolution, and evolution that isn't real. Evolution is not a real thing because God clicked his fingers and everything was here.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Where these people fucking come from? You know what I mean? It's like,
They come out of the woodwork, and when they do, they come out with a bang.
Are you a flat earther as well? Like,
Flat Earth.
like, yeah, flat, it's probably flat as well.
They'll justify it. But think about it. Think about it. When you look at it, it's flat. Yeah. Oh, justify it. How do you
Yeah.
justify it? And then there's you got the flat earthers, but then you got the people who think that there's like this dome around, you know? There's this dome. We're encased in this dome like system, biosphere.
Okay, that's why they don't let us down in Antarctica, isn't it? Because there's big ice wall, and they wouldn't want to see in the big ice wall.
Yeah, you know what? Antarctica intrigues me. It
Well,
really does.
if it intrigues you that much, you can go to your local travel agent and book a cruise down there on a ship and go
Yeah.
to your fucking
No, it,
travel agent.
it,
And
it,
it's like all these flat earthers go, well, you can't even fly over it. You can't go to it. Oh my God, you can't go to Antarctica. It's
but it
big.
really does. It really does intrigue me. I mean, to think that at one point it is a continent, right? That are things there that we have yet to discover because of the ice cap.
No doubt, I have no doubt that there are things on that continent
Yeah,
that one day, well, maybe we might not get to ever see it, but
maybe.
one day the ice may thaw.
Yeah,
What I'm saying, properly, like, I mean, like, to a degree of where they will actually find evidence of maybe a civilization there or something along them lines. But
well, I mean, you look at
I don't know, but I don't know how long has that continent actually been frozen for? That's the thing.
long time since probably since the ice age at least.
Well, there we are. And when
Last ice age.
when you say for the last ice age, well, what that meant was
13, what is that? 13,000 years
basically,
roughly?
yeah, basically, we were hunter gatherers back then.
Yeah.
What I mean?
But I mean when you look at
migrated when all that. I think that we probably migrated, from different areas of the planet
yeah.
when all that was going on. But there is that thing
I
of
mean there is evidence. I mean supposed evidence that there was intelligent beings 13,000 years ago or 11,000 years ago when we were supposed to be hunter gatherers. But I mean, hey,
mm,
will we
mm,
ever find out that the truth? I mean, I'd like to think so.
there's stuff in hieroglyphics. There's stuff in or when you talk about that stuff. I mean, like look at all the the American Indian stuff. Even that's written on walls. You know what I mean? And even the Hopi and all say, well, they came out the ground and this, that, the other. You know what I mean? After a great big disaster.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
were taken into the ground by these creatures, the ant people or whatever they were called.
Mm-hmm.
And then after this cataclysm happened, they all emerged back out onto the land or whatever it is. I think
damn giants.
that's something around, you know what I mean. But that's along the lines of it, like
Those damn giants.
those damn giants. We'll corral them in a cave and then we'll chuck fire in there.
Well, we did try to, keep them in the caves, but unfortunately, they've been breaking out and they've been seen on top of mountains.
The Mormons did it.
Yeah, the Mormons.
The Mormons did it. Yeah, blame the Mormons.
The Mormons. Well, Tim, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut her down, but tomorrow night, guys, here, Friday Night Howl Rising, join us. By all means, join us. Again, that's 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 2 a.m. UK time, London time, whatever. And what is that? 6 p.m. On the West Coast. So Join us then. And we got a couple big UFO shows coming up too. So until then,
Yeah.
take care, everyone. Tim, thanks for coming on, buddy.
Great, man. Nice to
All
see
right.
you, man.
Take care, guys.
Take it easy, everyone in chat. Have a
Have
good
a
one.
good one.